My grandmother had always said I was born with a tear in my eye and a smile on my face. She knew I was put on this earth to do something special. Well, I certainly inherited her tenacity. The Dancing Wheels Company is a physically integrated dance company, so it's comprised of dancers with and without disabilities, using the philosophy it's for all people of all abilities. We have a byline under our title as the World Center for Integrated Dance and Arts Access, so we really want to make the arts accessible to all people. The company's in her 44th season. We'll be moving into our 45th season in July. There's a saying that access to the arts is a right, not a privilege. So 40 plus years, things have changed considerably. The idea of physically integrated dance is more known. Accessibility is still an issue, not as prevalent as it was years ago. I was born in 1955 and I had spina bifida. So babies that were born back in that time with spina bifida were oftentimes left to die or be institutionalized. You know, my mother wasn't sure what to do when I was born. And so my grandmother said, you take her home, because the doctors wanted to institutionalize me. And she said, you take her home and you do the best you can. And if she survives, you've done the best you can. And if she doesn't, you've done the best you can. So she took me home. I was this little person, but I was pretty active, I guess, because I would break my braces all the time. And then the doctors gave me really strong braces, and I broke my leg instead of the braces 3 times. So they put me in a wheelchair. My mom was a dancer in the vaudeville days with her sister. She would make up little dances for my brother and I in our living room. And she had my brother lift me in the air. She just created little opportunities, I think, for me to enjoy music and dance. I always loved music and watching dance, and I would move in my chair, and I moved to the point where I broke the axle off the wheel. But it wasn't until the mid-70s that the disco era came about. So there was a lot of social dancing that went on, and I would watch it on TV. Some of my friends were just doing, the hustle, And I would sit back and watch it, and then finally one of them said, well, let's just try. And we did some dancing and twirled around the wheelchair, and I saw that it could move in a lot of different ways, and that actually it had this sort of like between skating and dance. To dance back then was the greatest acceleration in my body. I always equate it to like flying, because to dance on a stage where there's no barriers and you can take on a different persona, it really is a way of freedom that is indescribable. Particularly for our young people growing up, if I can do it, they can do it too. They see ability on stage or in the class that we teach. It's like an unspoken knowledge that they gain by just seeing. So seeing is believing. You don't have to say a word, because when we set foot or wheel on stage and we work together, people are seeing ability everywhere, from the disabled and non-disabled dancers.
I was injured in a car accident. Through physical therapy, I found out about Dancing Wheels and that it was possible to still move and still dance. Came to audition, that's where I met Mary. I wasn't born with my disability, but Mary was. And Mary inspired me because to see someone spend so much time with a disability that they were born with, showing the world and showcasing that you can still do something and still create and still be seen. It's been amazing, like to have a place where you feel like you belong, a place where you feel like you can show who you truly are, even through adversity or even through having a disability or even just being different.
So I'm going to be 70 this year. I look to be able to continue to dance at least until the 50th anniversary of Dancing Wheels. With any luck, we'll continue to do that. I pride myself in being able to dance still, and I think part of that is when you continue to do something long term, it stays with you in your body. I'm dancing with 24-year-old people. Just the stamina to keep up with that is somewhat of a challenge, but I oftentimes forget my age. I think if you think young, you will be young, you know.